if we do not win anything this season and we end up trophyless, and I know it's a bit of a negative question, this, raise your hand if you would keep Mikel Arteta here. Okay. Oh, okay, Graham. You would keep Arteta even if he doesn't win anything again this season, right?
Yeah, I would.
Okay,
The reason why, the reason I'm saying that is well, first of all, I think that we what we're building here. I know you've heard this argument before, mate. But where he's got us to, where he took us from, I think that we will win something this year. So I think this question is, slightly redundant, really, because I do believe this year we're going to win a trophy. I do believe that. But I think he would be under enormous, no doubt about it, he would be under enormous pressure if he didn't win a trophy this year with the money he spent. That's the argument against it. But I would, obviously, it depends how the season went, wouldn't it? If the season was a complete disaster, if we got to a Champions League final and we lost, if we went close in the Premier League again. But one thing you've got to understand is they're not going to sack him. They're just not going to sack him. So I think we keep having this sort of debate all the time. I think Wenger overstayed his welcome. It was only when the fans started not turning up for matches, and we had, I was going to those games when there was empty stadiums towards the end, where there were empty seats. So I think when I put my hand up there, we shot it up. I think probably on reflection, shouldn't have shot the bloody hand up. I was just trying to find an argument to keep it because I think sometimes debate's healthy. And I think it depends, in answer to it, when I'm thinking it through, it depends on the season. But I do agree with you. I know if he doesn't win something this year, he's going to be under enormous scrutiny and pressure. But just coming back to that, I know you want to move this to a close, but I was thinking, we talked about sort of like the Carabao Cup. I just quickly wrote this 11 down, right? And this is what he's got at his disposal. So if everybody was fit, and I know that they're not, and we went with our second team, the players who are not really playing week in, week out, do you think this is throwing the competition? So if I said to you, we started, I know Havertz and Madueke are not fit at the moment, but imagine they were, and they are at the moment, the backup to Gyökeres and Saka. Imagine if we went with an 11, Kepa in goal, White at right back, Mosquera, Nkapé, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Wanyeri, Marino, Madueke, Havertz, and one of Martinelli and Trossard. Just answer me this question then. Would he be throwing the Carabao Cup if he put that 11 out? That's a pretty strong second 11 to me. It's stronger than he's ever put out in the Carabao Cup before when he's been rotating.
I'll answer that quickly. No, and that's why there's absolutely no excuses not to win a trophy this season, Graham, because the squad is good enough to. It's got cover in every position. And what I've said, and I said this very, very clearly, I would have got rid of Mikel Arteta last season. Okay, everybody knows that. I'm not going to go into reasons why again. I would have got rid of him because I feel like we've got a squad that's good enough to win a trophy, and he didn't win a trophy with it. Now, this season, Andrea Berta has put Mikel Arteta in a horrendous situation, because there is no excuses now. Andrea Berta has done his job. The Cronkies, for the first time in a long time, have done their job by appointing a sporting director who knows what he's doing. And Mikel Arteta has to deliver. Otherwise, he has to go. And a lot of people believe that I'm the one who's very negative and pessimistic and toxic. But I'm okay if he wins a domestic cup. Some people are saying, no, it has to be a Premier League or a Champions League, or he's got to go. I just want a damn trophy. I'm starving over here. It's been 5 years, man. We haven't won anything. Just give me something. And people say it has to be this, has to be that. We can't be poo-pooing the cups, by the way, because we don't win trophies anymore. You can't be looking at the Carabao Cup going, blow that dust off it. I don't really want it, but yeah, hey, right, that's all it was. I want to be enjoying winning trophies. And if he can't bring one, I don't think it's a negative thing to say, right, who can we get that can get this team across the line? Maybe he is the Brendan Rodgers and we need a Jurgen Klopp. Can we go and get somebody like Luis Enrique? Well, the answer is yes, because we're paying this guy 15 million a year. That means there's only two managers we can't get financially, Pep and Simeone, because they're on 30 million and 20 million, which means that Luis Enrique would go 15 mil. Yeah, see you later, France. Arsenal, here I come. He's not going to go, oh, I don't want Arsenal. Oh, disgusting club. They're like Everton. No, they're not. We're a massive club. Luis Enrique will look at us 100%. And I don't want to end this on like a negative, because we are top of the league and we are doing well. And I hope he goes and wins us the quadruple, right? But I don't think it's a negative thing to do to say the 5 years, £900 million spent, we need to win a bloody trophy soon. We can't keep waiting and coming second, and one day it'll happen. Stick with it. That's the way I see it, man.
And Dan, just to come in on that, I think I've said this on your channel hundreds of times before. Like us as fans, regardless how old you are when you start supporting the club, don't be afraid of change. Like I said this before, Dan. I was on the hybrid squad last season. We drew 1-1 away to Brighton. And that first time, and I said, like, maybe sometimes, irrespective of you going for a league title, competing for Europe or relegation, sometimes players need to hear a new voice. And I got pelters that day. Me and Sophie got pelters in the chat that day. And that's just for saying that. And that was back in January. So the pressure's immense for him to get over the line. And for me, I mean, what's the alternative, Dan? We keep him until we win a trophy? What, another 2-3 years? Like, what's the tipping point for the fans to say, you know what, maybe we need to hear a new voice? And that's a plausible question to ask.
Yeah, I think it will be the fans that you're asking the question there. I think Graham's right in that respect. I think it's how we fail. If we do fail, how do we fail? Is it miserable? Is it crikey, we're out of everything by February and it looks like we're 12 points off the league? Then I think, yeah, he's got to go. But like Graham said, it's how you lose. I don't know where you're at, judges. You've been very quiet on this, bruv. What are you saying?
No, I'm listen. There is context with it. I'm not going to argue with Graham on it, because if Arsenal go close, they lose the Champions League final on penalties and they miss out by a point, that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? But I think that if we're 2, 3, 4 points off of it, making the same mistakes that we did this couple of seasons before that, I think you have to ask the question, you know what I mean, is he good enough to get us over the line? And listen, I think he's done fantastically well to get us where we are and challenging. And I'm, like one of these people like that we go to Newcastle and we win. We go to Liverpool and I'll come away from there disappointed that we've lost by a goal, disappointed that we drew at Old Trafford, or we're disappointed here. I go to Tottenham now with only one pair of underpants, not 3. You know what I mean? So all of those things, I'll give him all the credit for that. But at the end of the day, it's time. You've got the best squad. I think you've got a better team than Liverpool. I'm not saying Liverpool. I think it's touch and go between us and Liverpool. I think we've got a better team than Manchester City, if I'll be really honest. I think that there's players in there that they'd like to have in our team. I think we've got a fantastic spine, which is what you need to win titles. Goalkeeper, central defender, central midfielder, striker. We've got that. Then we've got the sprinkled dust of wide players like Saka and all that, And I feel now that it's time. It's time. And I think that he will do it personally, but I think that he's got to. This is the time.
Yeah, I think so. Yardman, it might be a silly
Dan, can I just come in, because I'll reverse my decision then. If he doesn't win a trophy, he can fuck off. Right?
I'll take it all back. I'll take it all back.
I'll take it all back. But let me just say one thing then. Let's just quickly debate this, right? The last game of the season on the 24th of May is Crystal Palace away, right? Ooh. We need 1 point to win the league. We're drawing 1-1, 90th minute. Gokaris goes through, goes round the goalkeeper. They give a penalty. PGMO at Stockley Park, overrule it, say no penalty. Game ends 1-1, and we lose it on that decision. Would you sack him then?
Oh, great.
Yeah, because we finished trophyless.
You're great. I love it. It's a great point.
I don't understand.
The thing is,
we should have been 3 points clear by that time anyway, Graham.
The thing is, I feel sorry for the guy, because I know a lot of people, on your channel. Look, with me and you discuss it all the time, and maybe I've changed my view from last year. I remember last year, I'm sure I said I wanted him gone if he didn't win something. So I'm seeing I'm more of a flip flop than judges. But the one thing I'll say about this is, where I feel sorry for him is the PGMOL. Because basically, I keep watching these games, watching decisions going for Liverpool, for example, who are like our rivals. You've got to say it. Now, watch everything going against Arteta, and it just the first time ever, I nearly kicked my TV in last Sunday when I was watching that Newcastle game. I really lost it big time, because that to me it looked like a conspiracy. And so I do think there are outside factors. I think you have to factor in. But Lee's right. We need to be 3 points clear going into the last game, so we're not relying on the PGMOL for a fucking decision. But look, I'll change my decision. So if anybody in the chat's cussed me or said anything, I know they haven't. I'm changing my decision. My hand has come down. We'd have to re-record that bit. My hand's come down, and he has to go if he don't win a trophy. But I do think he's going to. I do think he's going to. I do think. Look, guys, I do think he's going to win something this year. And judging to be walking around with an Arteta in t-shirt on in the last game.
I think he'll win something this year. I think he might win more than one this year as well.
Yeah.
Let me let Yardman have the last say, and then we'll come to a close. What are you saying, bro? I know where you stand, Yardman. You're very similar to me, but come on, bro.
I don't need to even say. This guy should have been gone from the last. Him should even be there, if I'm being honest. So for me, him just proving me right day in, day out, season in, season out. Why would people think that that's what I said to Rob, if we even lose it by goal average, why would we want to keep him? He's still a loser. It doesn't matter how you lose, you're still a loser. You understand? So for me, I'm not going to take a Carabao Cup, but I want you to win it. So if you even win a Carabao Cup, you still need to go. Yeah, because we're bigger than that. But like I said, I know it sounds hypocritical, but win the Carabao Cup to prove something. But if that's the Carabao Cup alone you win, then you have to go. The only way Mikel Arteta can keep his last year in this club is unless he win the Champions League or the Premier League. If he doesn't win any one of them, then they're not even supposed to be told, just pack your bag and sack yourself. Just say cheerio, go back to Spain, go and eat a paella and drink a beer. Enjoy your 15 million. Don't feel sorry for a man in 15 million a year. Are you going to tell me that you're sorry for him? This guy have control over the club. That's what people don't understand. The too much control get to him head. This guy get control you never managed before. Never, ever. 2 years sitting down with Pep. Pep called you because you was with Arsene Wenger. Pep know that Arsene Wenger was a maestro. Mikel Arteta was there with him. Him and Mikel Arteta was friend. He stay with Mikel Arteta, whatever. You know what? Come with me. Yeah? 2 years under Pep, Arsenal come in. Mikel Arteta said, you go. And then him just put on that ego. And that is what killing him. That ego of his. Him just need to drop it, fam. Win us a title and you can stay for your last year. Because I don't want to even give him another extended contract if we win the Premier League or the Champions League. You do your last year because you win it. I will allow you to defend it, but you just go after that. This team is a young team. We need a different manager to come and take them to the promised land. Yeah. And if Mikel Arteta keep on doing what he's doing, I just have these feelings about it that Mikel Arteta is just going to somewhere down the line going to find something to let us not win the Premier League or the Champions League. And that's it for me. I just want this man go. Honestly.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree. Look, Henry, you're absolutely right. To be fair, all the top possible topics of debate, only Arsenal fans will be discussing sacking the manager while sitting at the top of the table. Listen, I appreciate that, and I do, but we have been here before a couple of times, and we need to stay there come May. It's fine being top in October. I want to be top come the game week 38 or the end of game week 38. And Graham, that's a nasty question to have to ask, man, about that situation. And I tell you what, if that happens, my God, I'll tell you what, you're never coming on again, Graham, if that happens.